जय जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। यमुना तीरावनचारी। यमुना तीरावनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। राधा बिहारी। श्री श्री राधा गिरधारी की जय। श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की जय। श्री श्री गौरताय की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ताई गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि बोल। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। We are reading from Canto 7, Chapter 8, Text 44. Shri Pitara Uchuhu Shraddhani No Adi Bubuje Prasabham Tanujair Dat.
The way Prabhupada did it, you do the first line word by word, then you chant the first line. Then you do the second
Okay, okay. Shraddhani no Adi Bubuje Prasabham Tanujair. Okay. Shraddhanino adibubuje prasabham tanujer.
There's a hyphen there that means don't pronounce it. Shraddhanino
Okay.
dibubuje prasabham tanuja. Try it again.
Shraddhanino adibubuje.
No, not adibubuje. Shraddhanino dibubuje prasabham. You get it?
Okay.
That little apostrophe means don't pronounce anything.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Shraddhanino adibubuje prasabham tanujer.
Shraddhanino dibubuje prasabham tanuja.
Dattani tirtha.
No, now word by word.
Okay. Dattani
Shraddhani
tirtha samaye pi apibat tilambu. Dattani tirtha samaye apipibat tilambu. तस्योदरन नखा विदीर्ण वपाद या अर्चत तस्योदरन नख विदीर्ण वपद्य अर्चत तस्मै नमो नरहरे अखिल धर्म गोप्त्रे तस्मै नमो नरहरे अखिल धर्म गोप्त्रे श्री पितर उचुः श्रद्धानिनो दिभुजे प्रसभं तनुजैर दत्तानि तीर्थ समय अपि पीबत लंबो तस्योदरन नख विदीर्ण वपद्य अर्चत तस्मै नमो नरहरे अखिल धर्म गोप्त्रे श्री पितर उचुः श्रद्धानिनो दिभुजे प्रसभं तनुजैर दत्तानि तीर्थ समये अपि पीबत लंबो तस्योदरण नख विदीर्ण वपद्य अर्चत तस्मै नमो नरहरे अखिल धर्म गोप्त्रे श्री पितर ऊचु श्रद्धानिनो दिभुजे प्रसभं तनुजैर दत्तानि तीर्थ समये पिबत लंबो तस्योदरन नख विदीर्ण वपद्य अर्चत तस्मै नमो नरहरे अखिल धर्म गोप्त्रे श्रद्धानिनो दिभुजे प्रसभं तनुजैर दत्तानि तीर्थ समये अपि पीबत लंबो तस्योदरन नख विदीर्ण वपद्य अर्चत तस्मै नमो नरहरे अखिल धर्म गोप्त्रे श्री पितर उचुः श्रद्धानिनो दिभुजे प्रसभं तनुजैर दत्तानि तीर्थ समये अपि पीबत लंबो तस्योदरन नख विदीर्ण वपद्य अर्चत तस्मै नमो नरहरे अखिल धर्म गोप्त्रे श्री पितर ऊचुः Anyone online? Online?
Shri Pitara Uchu.
Shri Pitara Uchuः
Uchu or Uchuhu?
Uchuः
Uchuhu. Thank you very much. You're most kind. Shraddhanino dibubuje prasabam tanuchayir. Datani tirtha samaye apibat Lambu. Tasyodaran nakavidirna vapad ya archat. Tasmai namo nriharaye kila dharma gotre.
Tasmai namo narare ki. Shri Pitara Uchuhu. The inhabitants of Pitraloka said, Shraddhani, the performances of the Shraddha ceremony, offering of food grains to dead forefathers by a particular process. Naha, our, Adi Bubuje, enjoyed. Prasabham, by force. Tanujay, by our sons and grandsons. Dattani, offered. Tirtha Samaye, at the time of bathing in the holy places. Api, even. Apibat, drank. Tila Ambu, offering the water with sesame seeds. Tasya, of the demon. Udarat, okay, from the abdomen. Nakha Vidirna, pierced by the nails of the hand. Vapat, the skin of the intestine of which. Ya, he who, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Archat, obtained. Tasmai, unto him, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Namaha, respectful obeisances. Narharaye, Nirhare, okay, who has appeared as half lion and half man, Narhari. Akhila, universal. Dharma, religious principles. Goptre, who maintains. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Charan Arvind Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The inhabitants of Pitraloka prayed, let us offer our respectful obeisances unto Lord Narsinghadev, the maintainer of the religious principles of the universe. He has killed Hiranyakashipu, the demon who by force enjoyed all the offerings of the Shraddha ceremonies performed by our sons and grandsons on the anniversaries of our death, and who drank the water with sesame seeds offered in holy places of pilgrimage. By killing this demon, O Lord, you have taken back all this stolen property from his abdomen by piercing it with your nails. We therefore wish to offer our respectful obeisances unto you. Purport: it is the duty of all householders to offer food grains to all their departed forefathers. But during the time of Hiranyakashipu, this process was stopped. No one would offer Shraddha oblations of food grains to the forefathers with great respect. Thus, when there is a demoniac rule, everything concerning the Vedic principle is turned upside down. All the religious ceremonies of yajna are stopped. The resources meant to be spent for yajna are taken away by the demoniac government. Everything becomes chaotic, and consequently, the entire world becomes hell itself. When the demons are killed by the presence of Narsimhadev, everyone feels comfortable, irrespective of the planet upon which he lives. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishnam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurau Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakha Vidamsya He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute तप्त कांचना गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामीति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances at your lotus feet, and very happy to be here on this Friday morning and discussing Srimad Bhagavatam with all of you. And thank you, Dravida Prabhu, for always helping me and teaching all those things. So today is a very auspicious day of Akshaya Tritiya, so it was on this day that Srila Prabhupada actually started the League of Devotees in Jhansi, India, when he was trying to follow the instructions of his Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj, to preach this message of the teachings of Lord Chaitanya all over the world. So this was one of his first steps. He wanted to start from India. And later when he came to America, the movement flourished like anything, So during the time when Srila Prabhupada was in America, he made around 5,000 to 6,000 disciples, out of which mostly were Americans, very few were Indian devotees. And due to the sincerity and service to Srila Prabhupada, this movement could flourish in America. And then Prabhupada also took first time like 30 Western disciples to Vrindavan, when everybody was so surprised, how can the Westerners understand the teachings of Lord Krishna. So all glories to Srila Prabhupada disciples like Dravida Prabhu and Maharaj. So it's such a amazing service for last 50 years consistently. And also recently His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj, he left his body. He also made a huge contribution after the movement in India flourished. Mike.
That whole area also. Yeah. Not just India, mostly India, but also.
And also I want to mention one name. I came to know yesterday that there was one congregation devotee, Dr. Majumdar. He also left his body. So, what is his name? Oh, Mr. Prakash also? Oh, when? I didn't know that. I see. Yeah. He is the husband of Lakshmi Mataji, right? Swarga Lakshmi. Okay. Yeah, so much of contribution by all these great souls. So, in this verse, the inhabitants of Pitraloka are praying. So this remaining chapter, there are prayers by residents of Siddhaloka, and then Vidyadhar Loka, Nagaloka. Manus are offering prayers, and Prajapatis are offering prayers, Gandharva Loka, Charanas, Yashaloka. So many different devotees are offering prayer to Nrsingadev because he has slayed the demon Hiranyakashipu, and who had been disturbing everybody. And then in the next chapter, there are specific prayers of Prahlad Maharaj, very focused. They are very, very famous and very good to memorize also. So probably we'll learn something from Darvada Prabhu in that chapter, the prayers of Prahlad Maharaj. So in this purport, Srila Prabhupada mentioned that it is the duty of all householders to offer grains to all their departed forefathers. In the Bhagavad Gita also, when Krishna and Arjuna are discussing, then Arjuna is concerned that, my dear Krishna, if all these people are killed, then what will happen to their forefathers? Because nobody would be there to offer Shraddha. And if you do not offer Shraddha, then these forefathers, they cannot get elevated to higher planetary systems, because the process of Shraddha is you first prepare nice prasadam and then you offer to the Supreme Lord. And that food you give it to the forefathers. And when the forefathers accept that remnants of the Lord, they get purified. So imagine how much purification are we getting? Living in this body, taking the prasad of Krishna. So definitely it is in this lifetime, within this body, slowly we are getting elevated to higher planetary system. Our consciousness is, and at the time of death, definitely it's a very good situation for us. And then, Arjuna is concerned about these things, that so many people will be killed and there would be no one to teach, because the elder people are generally supposed to teach to the younger generation all these rituals and ceremonies and chanting of the mantras and the Vedic culture. But nobody would be there, then who will teach them? So which is a genuine problem which Arjuna explained, because he's a Vaishnava, he's very compassionate. So the same thing is explained here, that householders offer food grains to all their departed forefathers. So we have 4 varnas and ashrams. Householder, Grihastha ashram is very much responsible for nurturing the culture of these different ceremonies within the society, of offering food grains to the departed forefathers. Obviously, householders also should offer food grains to the brahmacharis and the guests, whoever are coming uninvited also. That is also the responsibility of the Grihastha ashram. So Grihastha ashram has a lot of responsibility. Every ashram has their own, brahmacharis, austerity, tapasya. Obviously, everybody should do that, but it's more prominent there. So Prabhupada is saying that it is the duty of the householders, but during the time of Hiranyakashipu, this process was stopped. So when we are talking about householders doing these different duties, I remember a pastime from Chaitanya Charitamrita, where the Kurma Brahman, he comes to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu because some of his friends, relatives, brothers, they were accompanying Lord Chaitanya in his Sankirtan movement, and they were very happy, blissfully dancing and chanting the holy names of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. They are doing Sankirtan yag in the streets. And this Kurma Brahman thought, oh my Lord, when will that day come when I can join you? So he went to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and said, Mahaprabhu, I also want to join you. Then Mahaprabhu said, no, you are a householder. You stay at home and chant the holy name. Mahaprabhu said, Ghare raho. Ghare means stay at home and chant the holy name. So what does Mahaprabhu mean by saying that? It meant that you have to take care of the kids' education, schooling, You have to discriminate. You have to take care of giving a living condition to your wife, to your mother, to your parents. So it's your responsibility. It's not that you give up everything and you come with me. You have to also follow your grihastha as a householder duties. So that kind of discrimination is very important in spiritual life. So Mahaprabhu is sharing that. But what happened during the time of Hiranyakashipu, this process stopped. Why it stopped? Because he will enjoy all the offerings of Shraddha ceremonies that were performed by the sons and grandsons on the anniversaries of death. So in America also we have like Halloween. It's the same concept of offering, Shraddha to the forefathers. But now that has become, in Kali Yuga, it's a Kali Yuga Halloween now. There is a competition in my community where I live. They like put lights and all these scary ghosts, and they compete with each other who's the best, decoration for Halloween, and they get prize money. Yeah, if this house has decorated it the best, you are scared the most, then you get like $500 out of that. Yeah. There is a very organized, competition of Halloween decoration.
Everybody contributes in a pot, and whoever does the best thing, they get
Yeah.
like gambling.
Yeah, so it's like basically gambling. And people, so one person, I was walking down the street, and this street is a very famous street in Forest Ranch, and I was asking, so much effort you have put, these different spider webs and these ghosts who are howling and these electronic, persons with like red bulbs light in them, and if you touch something, it will make a sound and it will scare you. So many, using this latest technology, artificial intelligence now, probably in the future they will use something like that, I'm sure. And I asked, how much time did you spend? Because for devotees, time is very, very precious. Whatever time we get, we just pick our mala and say, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, we chant. I said, how much time did you spend? He said, I have been doing this for last 1 week. The whole day I am working on this. And he says, I feel very happy when so many people come here and click photographs and I give them candies. So that is what the Kali Yuga Halloween is. Instead of remembering the forefathers, we are trying to do something else. And then Mexico also, they have a festival similar to that. I forgot what's the name. Sarke, what is that? Huh? Something, I can't pronounce that. Dia de Martes, Mataji sings, I'll take that. So that is also the same, but I don't know what happens there. So things are getting like topsy-turvy in Kali Yuga, and thus when there is a demoniac rule, everything concerning the Vedic principle is turned upside down. All the religious ceremony of yajna are stopped. The resources meant to be spent for yajna are taken away by the demoniac government. So, but if you perform the yajna today, you can see the results. Even in Kali Yuga, there are very few people who are doing the yajna, and there is a benefit. Once I was traveling in a train in India, and I met a very big businessman. He was an agriculturist. And I was chanting, and he was very happy to see that. And he told me that he has like acres and acres of land, and every year he spends like millions of rupees or dollars in organizing a yajna. And I said, why do you do these yajnas? He said, the reason is so that to get proper rainfall for my, all the crops that I have put. And I asked him, did you see the results? He said, yes, when we do the yajnas and everything, it actually reaps a lot of benefit. We can see that. So there are very few people, but whoever are doing that, they actually can see the benefit of that. And similarly, we have this Sankirtan, movement where by chanting the holy names, Kale dosha nidhirajan asti hai eka mahan guna, kirtanadeva krishnasya mukta sangha paramvriji. So, Kali dosha nidhirajan, in this Kali Yuga, it is full of faults. But there is one good thing, that by chanting the holy names, we can eradicate the faults of this yuga. So a lot of examples are there. We have seen, I think this Sunday, His Holiness Badrinath Swami Maharaj was giving an example of, devotees doing kirtan and there were ghosts and they ran away. That was just one example. And then we also saw in Europe, there is one devotee who did kirtan. There was no rainfall. They did continuous kirtan for 2-3 days. It wasn't raining for like a year or something. And immediately after that kirtan, the rain started pouring. Yeah, that was in Europe. So this was in the news actually. This was there.
Do we have a yajna to stop it?
Sorry?
Do we have a yajna to stop it?
I don't know. Yeah, sometimes it's too much rain. So, saintly yajna. Huh? Yeah, same. So there are so many different things, and I think Maharaj was one time also telling that in some devotee's house there was a fire because of forest fire. There was fire. He was sleeping, and then he heard loud kirtan somehow. Dr. Majumdar, right? And then he immediately got up and he ran. So he basically saved his life. Yes, Dravida Prabhu can share something about that. Yes.
In the evening before, he had been listening to recorded kirtan of Prabhupada. You know, he probably did it a lot. And then, as usual, he saw in the distance because we knew that the fires were burning. You know, I was in India. I was in Vrindavan. I looked over the shoulder of someone reading a newspaper. On the front page was the fires in San Diego, California. In India. Anyway, that's how big it was. So he was, he lived in a nice area, and he saw in the distance it was glowing, but he didn't think it was coming to where he was. So he's listening to kirtan, then he took rest. He turned it off. He was awakened by Prabhupada singing on the tape recorder. He didn't know how it started.
It just started by
itself. It
just
started, and woke him up. He looked out the window; it was burning. He grabbed his deities and ran. And, the house was burned. When he said,
amazing. So there are so many different ways that Krishna is reciprocating even today in this age of Kali Yuga by the chanting of the holy names. So there is so much of variety. So in the spiritual world also there is a lot of variety. Krishna is so full of variety. We can take an example of Krishna's flute. So there are 3 kinds of flute that Krishna uses. In the Nectar of Devotion, you can read that one is called Venu, one is Murli, and the other is called Vamshi. And Venu is very small. It is not more than 6 inches long. It has 6 holes for whistling. And that is the Venu. Second is Murli, which is about 18 inches long. So this is like 3 times, you can say, than Venu. And at the end, it has a hole at the end and 4 holes on the body of the rule. And this kind of flute produces a very enchanting sound. The third is the Vamshi, which is about 15 inches long. And it has 9 holes in its body. So Krishna used to play like all of these different flutes occasionally when they were needed. So we'll see how much variety is there in the spiritual world. So maybe we can see the sound of the flute. No, it is Venu is 6 holes.
Oh, Venu is 6 holes?
Yeah. It is 6 inches long, so I'm not sure it is pretty long, but yeah, so then you have to guess what category it falls into after the sound.
Inside? Yeah, you have something to be right up here. Right here. Yeah, that's you can come forward. Good. Thank you.
Thank you. So these flutes are sometimes bedecked with jewels also, and they are made of marble and sometimes of hollow bamboo. And when the flute is made of jewels, it is called Sammohini. It is made of gold, it is called Aksharshini. So there are different names for different flutes and different sound used by Krishna for different times. Like sometimes he will use some flute for calling the cowherd boys, some other flute for calling the gopis. So there are so much variety in the spiritual world. And in this verse, when we are talking about the Hiranyakashipus, there are a lot of Hiranyakashipus, roaming around in this world, mini Hiranyakashipus. Obviously, Hiranyakashipu was very, very, very strong. Even the best villains of today's world cannot match him. But some little Hiranyakashipus, we can see the examples and we can learn from them how we can basically discriminate, understand and not be entangled into those things. So one or two stories I will tell about, Kali Yuga pastimes. So there was a couple who went for a honeymoon. This was in the news a few years back. They went to honeymoon in a cruise, and they spent some time together, and there was an argument between husband and wife, and the wife actually tossed the husband into the ocean. And the husband was missing after like 2 days of the cruise. So they got into argument. So in Kali Yuga, even for small arguments, people are ready to kill each other, or even looking at each other. Why did you look at me like that? Right? I remember I was in St. Louis when I came to America with some of the friends. So one of my friends was very excited to come to America, and he had a nice camera. He was clicking all the photographs. And he clicked a photograph of a person because he had some nice hairstyle. And that person saw that this guy is clicking my photograph. He came there, he snatched his camera, threw it, and he slapped him he had his whole jaw was out, he was bleeding. So just for small thing, people are so much angry these days. You just give them an opportunity, and people are so much angry. But anyways, we humbly go on and pursuing the Sankirtan Yagya, although these challenges are there, and we understand that life is not meant for sense gratification. Life is meant to glorify Krishna. So there was another example I wanted to share, that a wife and a husband, a wife said to a husband one day that, okay, we'll play a game. He said, okay. Then she tied the husband, on the bed, and then after that she started stabbing her. She stabbed her over 200 times. She stabbed him? Yeah, she stabbed husband around 200 times. And so it's he did not back her up when basically he was when she was scolding the children. That was such a small thing. And when she was brought to the judge, then she said that the judge asked, you stabbed him so many times, did you ever regret the 10th time, the 20th time, that what will happen to him? And she was saying, no, he would have retaliated on me, he would have retaliated. And she was like, what? So this is the thing where people today, zero tolerance policies and stuff like that. There is no tolerance, and even for small things there is so much of aggression. So, but the chanting of the holy names, if in this world there is so much of anxiety and insecurity within people's heart and mind, and so much is going on. Within America, there are around 46 children which are born outside the marriage. So obviously, 46%. Yeah, children born outside the marriage, people who are not married, they are having these, around half the kids. So obviously there would be so much anxiety and stress. And what is the solution? The solution is threefold. Hari Naam, Hari Katha, and Hari Prasad. So by Hari Katha, when we hear the glories of the Lord, our intelligence is sharpened. We can discriminate what is right and wrong for us. When we chant the holy names, then our mind becomes purified. Cheto darpan marjanam. And a lot of times people are in anxiety. Okay, what happened in the past? Someone said something to me. They are always dwelling in the past, because it's the function of the mind to vacillate between past and future, right? Brahma bhuta prasannatma na shochati na kangshati sama sarveshu bhuteshu mad bhakti labate param. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna explains that my devotee is neither lamenting nor hankering. And this is very, very scientific and psychological also. In my workplace there are different speakers who come. So one of the speakers was speaking. She was a postdoc in psychology, have 30-40 years of experience in that. And she was explaining that most of the anxiety that people have is because something happened to them and they are living it right now in the present. They are thinking that is going on right now, or of the future, what will happen. So she was saying that one should learn how to be in the present moment, and think, is that thing happening to you right now? Are you going through that or not? So being in the present, and a lot of yoga system is based on that, on the breathing thing, like breath is in the present. But in our culture also, like the chanting of the holy names, what does Prabhupada tell about chanting? When anybody asks Prabhupada, how can I chant nicely? Prabhupada would say, just hear. What does it mean? To be in the present. Because when you are hearing the holy name, you are in the present. You are focusing on the sound vibrations of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, which is very, very transcendental. So that is also a very good technique, chanting the holy names. And then this practice, sometimes we do not follow it properly. You know, while we are chanting, we are thinking about my to-do list. You know, I have to cook prasadam today, I have to go distribute books. This is a devotional distraction. I have to do this, I have to do that. Or you may be thinking about your problems also. So if you are thinking about your problem and chanting, then you are actually chanting your problems, right? Some people say you should make a to-do list. You know, when you are chanting, if something comes to your mind, take a paper and write it down. But if you give that opportunity to your mind to write down something every time, then you will keep doing that, because the mind has that license now, that permission to get distracted. But wherever and whenever Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, the mind wanders, what do? Bring it back. The actual chanting japa is mantra madhye mano japa, mano mantra. Mantra madhye mano mana. Within the mind there is mantra, within the mantra there is mind. That is actual japa. When both the things are together, you are totally, fully engrossed in chanting the holy name of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Just totally listening to it, being absorbed with loving devotion, with all your desires focused towards serving Shri Shri Radha Giridhari, because the heart is the seat of our desire. If we have that desire to serve the Lord sincerely, without any ulterior motives, uninterrupted, na dhanam, na janam, na sundaram. My dear Lord, I do not want any wealth, I do not want any beauty, power, mystic, yoga, siddhis, or even liberation from the problems of this world. In that mood, actually, we can chant the holy name sincerely. So when that chanting happens, you know, then we are actually in the present moment. And this is a very good exercise, even from psychological, scientific perspective, to be in the present. That trains the mind, and you can be more and more focused in whatever you do, whether it's your work, or whether it's preaching, or whether it's, you know, talking to somebody, or even spiritual life. Everything, it will help. This technique will help there. So much emphasis is made on chanting the holy names, and specifically the best time, obviously, for chanting holy names is in the morning, Brahma Muhurat time. And there's no distraction, no phones. Obviously, phones keep ringing nowadays. Phone is like a one-eyed Hiranyakashipu of today. You know? There was a joke, you know, if you open a baby's diaper, there would be something there. If a baby is wearing a diaper, if you open it, there would be something there inside it. Similarly, when you open a phone, like apps like WhatsApp or Facebook, something would be there. So it's like a baby diaper. So whether it's 5 o'clock in the morning or 2 o'clock, you know, people are very active. You know, I was surprised. You know, one day I messaged on my WhatsApp group. I have a college group in India. At 2 o'clock, people are responding. I said, "You don't sleep or what?" So there is so much of, these are the weapons of mass distraction, you know, which are distracting us. There are so many, actually, divorces and breakups are happening because of these smartphones. Because people are not communicating with each other. Husband, wife are not communicating. Children are not communicating. Even, you know, I don't know about Brahmachari ashram, probably are communicating, because most of the Brahmachari ashram, they only keep like very old phone. They don't have any smartphones. They have dumb phones. You cannot install apps and all those things. So that's how they are focused, because it's distracting so much. Even school kids, every morning I chant my japa outside. There is one boy who every time he passes at the same time, like 7:15, and every time he passes, he has a phone in his hand. And every time I ask him, "What are you looking at?" So now he's used to my asking. He said, "I'm playing Roadblocks." There's some game that they play with, on internet with different people, different Roadblocks. And there was a security research on this game itself, that so many kids are being, abused by other people because it is online and so many people are there, and kids are actually getting abused via this game. So everybody has smartphone now, even fifth graders, middle school. I was talking to another teacher of middle school, Oak Valley, and so they were saying, all the kids bring phone and, watching some forbidden content also. The teacher was telling. I'm sure it's for all the schools also. So yeah, this is what is happening, and especially the television, and now phones, and now they are working on making new chips, reducing the iPhones or smartphones and putting chips in your body, and maybe virtual keyboards. Anywhere you can go, just type and screen will come up. So it's more and more advanced. Yeah, type in the air. So it will be the more technological advancement, the more distraction is coming, First, if you have to watch anything, you have to, go home, get the landline and call. Or maybe watch a TV, go home. Now everything is mobile, everything on the way. You don't have to carry anything, Whether you are in temple or you are in, church or at work or school, everywhere you have access to these social media apps and devices. Because that's how they make money. It's all geared towards this capitalism. Exposing you to that content of sex, to violence, and which attracts the senses. So they are making it more and more easily accessible and available. But at the same time, if we have the right consciousness, if we are chanting the holy name sincerely, then we can utilize all these things to our benefit and to preaching also. It's not like that they are bad. But mostly the misuse is happening a lot in Kali Yuga with all these devices. So yes, Lord Nrsingadev is coming based on the promise that he has made in form of Krishna to Arjuna, that Kaunteya pratijanihi name bhaktya pranashit, that my dear Arjuna, please announce that my devotee never perishes. And then when Prahlad Maharaj was asked, where is your Lord? Is he in the pillar? Then Prahlad Maharaj said, yes, my Lord is in this pillar. And then Lord Nrsingadev appeared. So in that verse in Srimad Bhagavatam, Sukadev Goswami writes, Satyam vidhatum nijabhritya bhashitam vyaptim cha bhuteshu akhileshu chatmanaha atyantati adbhuta rupa mudvahan sthambe sabhayam na mrigam na manusham. What it means is that to prove the point of his dear devotee, Lord Nrsingadev appeared. Satyam vidhatum nijabhritya bhashitam. So Prahlad Maharaj said, yes, my Lord is there in this pillar. Just to prove it, Nrsingadev appeared. Nijabhritya means the servant. Nijabhritya bhashitam. Vyaptim cha bhuteshu. Lord Nrsingadev is everywhere. Vyaptim cha bhuteshu akhileshu chatmana. Atyanta adbhuta rupam udvahan. So he had such a beautiful form. He appeared, udvahan. Sthambe sabhayam na mrigam na manusham. He came out from the pillar. Sthambe sabhayam na mrigam. He is neither animal nor man, na manusham. So like that. So similarly, if we also have that faith in the Lord, obviously Prahlad Maharaj is a very high elevated devotee, he is the Mahajan, but at least we can see him as our inspiration and have that aspiration to reach that goal, and slowly and steadily have with that faith we chant the holy names of Krishna and use our intelligence to discriminate what is right and wrong for us, then we can definitely please the Lord and be very happy and successful in our life. So just like Srila Prabhupada said, we are trying to give people that happiness which will never be exhausted. It will never be exhausted. So that is our objective of happiness. Because happiness in this material world, whether it's through phone or through iPads or television, it exhausts very soon. You know, people say, I'm just watching news. But then you don't just watch news, you watch other things also, apart from that. So the happiness that Srila Prabhupada, our acharyas are giving, that is inexhaustible and which will give us immense happiness and pleasure, so that we always remain connected to ourselves, to Krishna, and make selves. And always be successful and happy in our life. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
I don't want to name any names, but there was a Gurukul. There was this girls' Gurukul going on. It was very successful for a long time in Florida, and then it closed up, and I didn't know why.
Where
And
was it? Which location?
in Alachua.
Alachua, okay.
Yeah. I'm not sure what they have now. They have some kind of school now going
Yeah.
on. But this was years ago. And I asked the lady who had been running it, what happened? This was a few years after it closed, you know. Why did you close it? Cell phones. All the girls had to have cell phones. If
Oh.
one had cell phone, they all have to have cell phone.
Oh, my.
And you also had a boys' school.
Separate boys.
Separate.
Okay.
Separate. But they had the cell phone. And so they were texting each other, you know, because they all have it. It's right there. And so it became too much, you know, and she had to close the school. The kids were relating to each other, meeting in the woods, whatever, you know, like that.
Oh, I see.
So it's dangerous.
Thank
When
you.
I
for
joined
sharing.
a temple in Brooklyn in '73, there was no TV, there was no radio. They wanted you to call your mother once a week. That was the only phone we ever used, landline, you know.
Exactly,
To
yeah.
keep in touch with your mother. She's worried about you, you know, like that. And that was it. I didn't even hear any news. There was a big oil embargo thing that happened in '73. With the Arabs, you know, what was it called? OPEC started, you know. And suddenly we couldn't put gas in the vans, you know, there was trouble getting the vans for Harinam and all thing gassed up because it was big lines, that, you know. And that was the only way I found out about it, you know. It was actually very blissful. You were always hearing Prabhupada, kirtan and lectures in the, you know, wherever you're going in the ashram and everything. It was
Nice. Thank you for sharing. Another Kali Yuga example. Yes, anyone else want to share something? Yes, Prabhu.
So I heard that technology is actually a tool of the lower planets, like the demoniac planets. That like if we're like there's 7 lower planets, that the way demons trick us is to bring their technology to our realm so that it dumbs us down. Because like here we should have like powers of like not like magic or anything like that, but like telepathy, that we're able to communicate with each other without the notions of like cell phones and technology, that just the human species is able to, you know, if I think of my mom and how much I love her, my mom will be like, oh, my son loves me, and like also share that emotion. Like twins have that ability. If one is sad, then on the other side of the planet they can feel it.
Correct.
And inherently we're supposed to like be able to do that. But then the demons come and say, here's our technology with computers and, you know, science and everything to get us away from our innate ability to do that.
Very good point. Yes, Prabhu. It's just like, you know, if somebody gives you poison, they will never tell you it's a poison. They will give you a nice rasgulla with some poison in it. Like you said, you know, the wrapper looks very good, but inside there is so much of poison which can kill you. Similarly, television, the way it came, you know, it is for learning and news and this and that. But now what's going on, so many different channels and so many things. And same on phone, YouTube. How much content is there which is forbidden content on the internet right now? You can't even imagine. Forbidden content on the internet? Forbidden. Yeah, the content which is not like, talking about violence or sex and all those things. It's full of that. And it comes in a very nice wrapper that it's, education. In the name of education, it's. So you're right, like all these demoniac things come in a very nice packaging. Yeah, thank you, Prabhu. Yeah.
There's another one that I use that it's like Burger King and McDonald's, how they advertise, right? So they just say like keywords like juicy, tasty, good for you, and all this stuff. And then they'll say whatever they're advertising, like chicken, 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 chicken. And then after 10 seconds of listening to that, you're like, I want to go to this place. But even though like we've learned that chicken is actually bad for you, it's like it can harm you, it's not raised properly, like all of these horrible things, but they're advertising it as good just by like those keywords of like, it's good, try it, your friends love it, like everyone's talking about it.
Yeah, they're tricking you into getting more and more. Yeah. Yes. Anything in there? Yes. Yes, you had something, Prabhu?
I'll just say Hare Krishna. Thank you for the nice lecture.
Hare Krishna.
Hare.
Just one last story I want to share of Prabhupada about this society today, So Prabhupada gives a story of a dog who's holding a bone in his mouth. And he goes to a water pond and he looks at it. And he sees another dog there who's holding the bone. He's actually seeing his reflection. And then he wants to have the bone of another dog which is in the pond. So what he does, he leaves his bone, he throws it, and he jumps into the pond. He doesn't realize it's a pond, it's water. He just jumps to grab somebody else's bone. So in the society today, people are looking what others are getting. They are envious, and they are not understanding that what they have, they are not grateful. There is no gratitude. And giving up everything that they have, their culture, their roots, and looking at somebody else, and even, foregoing whatever they have and not getting even what other person has, So it's a very nice, beautiful story shared by Srila Prabhupada. Just wanted to share. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Radha ki jai.